Projects are everywhere, be it a professional organization or a business enterprise. Research has shown that across the globe, only 36% of the projects are successful. This is a very alarming figure. I took this opportunity to capture what are the various competencies recommended as required for project success, compile from the researchers and the opinions of thousands of eminent project professionals, and bring out in a nutshell for the young project managers or budding professionals to incorporate these competencies in themselves, prioritize if need to be, and become better project team members or project team leaders, so that moving forward the project success in their pertinent projects are highly enhanced. Hi, this is Jagdish Kumar, MBA, Project Management Professional from PMI USA, Certified Manager for Quality and Organizational Excellence from American Society for Quality, and Lead Auditor ISO, doing this presentation for you. This diagram is an important diagram, I can say the heart of the presentation. There is a proverb, one picture is worth 1,000 words. If this picture is in front of you, maybe a print, you will be able to quickly visualize what are the 23 competencies required and what are the weightages or importance for those competencies for the project success. To read this diagram, the center dot is a score of 0, the first circle after the dot is a score of 1, the second concentric circle is a score of 2, third is score of 3, fourth is score of 4, and the outermost is score of 5. Now how to read? For example, the topmost, leadership. This competency has a score marked by a blue dot which is closer to 5, say 4.9. So 4.9 out of 5 is the weightage for leadership capability. Next, clockwise, management skill. Management skill is less than leadership, but more than 4.5, around 4.7 is the weightage for management skill, and so on. This is the way to read this diagram. I have compiled this in the next slide for quick reference and prioritization by the professionals if need be. These are the top 5 competencies. Leadership ability. Leader provides the goal, the direction. Leader communicates roles, responsibilities and authorities to the team. Leader motivates the team. Leader is ethical. Leader shows high integrity along with the result orientation. So this leadership capability has a highest priority in competency 4.9. The second is communication. Very important here is what to communicate, where to communicate, how to communicate, when to communicate, and so on. Most of the time is spent, especially by project manager, in communication, and also the project team members also spend the bulk of their time in communication. That's why it is competence number 2. The third competency is management ability, applying a PDCA, plan, do, check, act. Set a goal in plan, then have plan to implement, do the implementation, check whether you have achieved. If you have not achieved, come out with corrective actions or improvement actions, and then again plan to implement that improvement action and go on. PDCA, this is management. Honesty is a competency number 4, and conflict and crisis management ability is a 5th competency. Very important. Conflict can happen within the project team, it can happen between project team members and the external agencies, and so on. How in a diplomatic way the crisis and the conflict can be handled is very, very important competency for a project manager and also for the project teams down the line. Next skill set 5 are effectiveness. Effectiveness means how much of useful output I am able to generate with the minimum input or resource consumed. This is also an important parameter. Effectiveness has a score of 4.5 and stands 6th as the competency. Professionalism is the next 4.4, 7th competency. Don't get emotional, don't get buried under the problems, don't look at the darker side, you will see frustration, you will see challenges, you will see failures, but look at the positive side and take the project forward till the goal is reached. This has a mind frame or attitude has a competency of 7th, or it is a 7th competency. Assertiveness, when you are right, you should be able to communicate, convince the people and take the people along. This ability has a score of 4.4 and it is the 8th competency. Ethical behavior, of course part of leadership again, here 4.2 is the 9th competency. Reliability means any change happens which is permanent in any project, and also anything new to be done, anything unseen happens, how quickly the project team is able to recoup and deliver the desired result. How reliable the team is, that is reliability. That has a score of 4.2 and it is the competency number 10 here. Coming to the next 5, cognitive ability, your intelligence to observe and from the available context around you to derive the maximum inference and come out with the most effective decisions and actions. Cognitive ability is number 11 with a score of 4.2. Negotiating skill is very, very important. Nearly 20% on the average project cost can be reduced by negotiating properly. So negotiation is competency 12 with a score of 4.2. Personal time management, this is personal discipline as well as driving the team to manage the project within the time frame. As you do the project management, you will be drawing the activity network diagram. You should see that you are sticking to that and not seeing any time overrun. This is one of the most important competencies, and competency number 13, self-control, self-discipline, ability to control the team, motivate the team in the direction they have to do and deliver maximum or integrate the project team. This is competency 14 with a score of 4. Organizational skill, the ability to delegate right job to the right person. When there is a risk, again delegate the risk management responsibility to the right person. This is organizational skill. If there is a competency gap, develop the competency through training and so on. This is competency number 15 with a score of 4.0. Next 5 competencies are flexibility and adaptability. What is permanent in projects or in life is change. So people should not be Solomons. Solomon is a fish that likes to swim against the tide. There is no use. Adapt to the inevitable change and be the leader to implement. Flexibility and adaptability are 16th and 17th. Engagement is 18th competency. Engagement here means everybody knows his or her roles, responsibilities and authorities, and they are passionate to achieve them. They are self-driven. Competency number 19 is openness. It's very, very important to be trustworthy for the team. Be open. Open discussion will generate open ideas which will enhance the performance of the project team. There will be a lot of trust among the team members, which goes a long way. 20th competency is enthusiasm. Whatever the context, whatever the disappointment, don't lose your heart. Keep doing it enthusiastically. This is very, very important because your mind frame decides half the success. Now the last bunch. Competency number 21 is sticking to the value system for the demography, because value system may slightly change from one region to another region, one country to another countries. That's why that value system is part of your leadership. But since it is explicitly asked to rank, the global leaders had marked it as 3.2, the 21st competency. 22nd is dedication, your commitment, very, very important. Again, subset of leadership, but it has a score of 3. And the last one, 23, is creativity. Creativity is out of the box idea you generate and then innovate. This has a score of 2.9. It is already ingrained in the earlier competencies. As an explicit figure, they have put 2.9 score here. By thousands of professionals, whatever scores were given, the compilation was done. This is a nectar of the efforts of several business magnates, several professional leaders that has been presented here with due acknowledgement. Now, project team competencies have been brought out. If you are a project manager or you are going to be groomed as project manager moving forward, definitely what are the top competencies you should prefer to possess? Number one, project management and technical competence. Technical competence may be technical domain area knowledge, but coming to project management is a process. What are the 49 processes or whatever n number of project management processes? What are the tools and techniques for project management? What is the use of lean concept? What is agile concept and its benefit? All these should be known to a project manager. Critical thinking. Always look at what can go wrong in future, anticipate failures and plan to handle that proactively. This is not negative thinking, this is proactive behavior to critically analyze the situation and then come out with the improvement plan, the plan, action, result that adds value to the customer, value to the sponsor. Business acumen is very, very important. The first and the foremost to be known is the benefit that the project can create. That is called as benefit cost ratio. All the benefits converted into money, all the costs converted into money. When the ratio is taken, many companies have a figure of 1.2. If there is a 20% benefit, they will go for the project, otherwise they will not. That's one portion. The business acumen majorly involves their ability to do risk management, opportunity maximization, knowledge management, including referring to the earlier lessons learned, creating their own lessons management inputs to contribute to the entire organization in future, relationship management. Next competency is decision making. The worst thing a project manager can do is procrastination. Never procrastinate. With the available best data, take quick decisions, but the decision, as I mentioned, should be data based, not perception based. Earlier, if you take the decision and act, the problem will be a smaller problem to handle. If you allow the problem to escalate, it will snowball into a major problem which may become impossible to solve later or may require enormous resource wastage to handle that. Next, strategy development, very, very important. The project manager should be seeing the situation well in advance, anticipating the context or the scenario that will unfold moving forward. This concept in project management is called as a progressive elaboration, and using that knowledge, you should come out with the strategies, modify the existing strategy for benefit maximization. The second portion is also equally important. Not enough if you have a detailed strategy, detailed project management plan. It is important to deploy them. So the project manager's focus should be that the project management plan is deployed in full. Delegation, very important. The project manager should not have a tendency to do everything by himself, thinking that he can only do the jobs in the best way. This is not correct. 80% of the jobs at least will have to be delegated. As you delegate, you should remember that right job should be delegated to the right person and the progress should be monitored. In management, the periodic activity called monitoring, if it is not done, what is not monitored is not controlled. Communication, very, very important. Most of the project managers' time is spent in communication. It may be communication upwards with the management, with the sponsors, with the customers and so on. Communication downwards with the project team could be parallel projects could be there with whom they may have to do the lateral communication and rely their benefit and know their benefits and adapt into your project. You may have to communicate with the external agencies, external stakeholders, including the legal bodies and so on. So internal communication, external communication. In the communication, what to communicate, why to communicate, whom to communicate, when to communicate, where to communicate and how. Whether it should be formal or informal, verbal, should be clear. It should be planned well in advance and a plan should be implemented. Team management skills, including handling the issues within the team, developing the competency of the people if they need through training, or assigning the right job to the right person who has the competency, and not forgetting a recognition portion. Execution, very, very important. develop the scope document in full to meet all the requirements of the stakeholders, and then finalize, implement. This is very, very important. Execution is the phase where you see maximum risk and we see maximum resources also being consumed. Maximum monitoring is also required at that point in time. Management of scope within the budget. For a project to be successful, this entire scope of work should be delivered within budget, within a time frame that is scheduled, and achieve required quality. This has to be kept in mind as the project is executed. Of course, there is a lot of opportunity for creativity and innovation also in the project. I take this opportunity once again to request each one of you who have not subscribed yet to my channel to please subscribe and press the bell icon so that my future releases will reach you within no time. And also please give a thumbs up if you have liked this rare work that has been done here, and please don't forget to share this knowledge with the young project managers, young project team members, young professionals and students, even for them to quickly capture and imbibe these competencies and become successful in their future career. Thank you for all your support.